What's up, everyone?
Not yet. Now.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Actifio On-Tech. Today is June 6th, 2019. I'm Jason.
I'm Jay.
I'm Giovanni.
How's everyone doing today? Nice summer day here at Actifio.
Yes,
about 80,
finally.
77 degrees, I think, last time I checked when we were outside. Sunny, beautiful, type of days we dream about. And
Before we get started.
we're here in the basement.
Yes, I know. Before we get started, here's a question. 6/6 is a very memorable date historically. I'm sure you all know the answer to that.
Yep. D-Day.
D-Day, which is obviously an important day in terms of liberating Europe. Obviously a very sad day in terms of all the lives lost, but certainly was very important for freeing people in Europe from all of the terrible stuff they experienced during World War II.
Yeah. So. I always remember 6/6 is D-Day and 12/7 Pearl Harbor Day.
Exactly right.
I always remember those dates.
So just a moment for that.
Agree. Gio, tell us about the beer you brought it today.
Oh boy!
I heard this is pretty cutting edge stuff.
Do you when you went to school, did you ever do detention or?
This guy?
I did once. I once got detention.
You got detention?
I did once. I'm such a good guy, but I did
What
once.
did you do to get detention?
Our table was rowdy at lunch, and unfortunately it resulted in the entire table getting retention.
Really?
I was
rowdy. What do you mean?
It was not
you guys
my
were,
fault.
Flipping the table over, throwing food?
No, they were just being overly silly. I thought it was overdone, but whatever. And Mr. Fitch, God bless you, sent me to detention. So I got in trouble for that. I don't think it was a really big deal, but it was one of these scenarios where, you're all in detention. Right? Really?
Was this like a Catholic school thing?
No, it wasn't. No.
Oh,
and I was innocent. I was framed.
Guilty by association.
What about summer school?
No,
summer school.
Thankfully.
You have summer school?
No way.
Have a reform school.
I used to be cautious. I used to be called to detention a lot because there was another Jason Brown in my high school that was a delinquint.
Oh.
And I always used to get called
You're a delinquent
middle
by
school and
association?
high school, and I always used to get called to the principal's office and the detention for. I'm like, guys, haven't figured this out yet?
Nice.
Well, I asked that for two reasons. One, because my daughter got in trouble for the first time yesterday. She's 8, and she took it to heart. It wasn't even in trouble.
Oh, I got a good story about this.
It's just called out, And the other reason why I mention all of that is because the beer is double dry hop school on a Sunday. So Sunday school is a little bit different. It's not a detention based
My kids call it detention sometimes. We go to church and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to Sunday school." Oh.
No, but I mean, I think this is the first time that we're doing Monkish.
Brewing show?
Here. Yeah,
I think so. I don't think we've done any cans. It's hard to get.
No, we've been. Well, it is on the East Coast. Even on the West Coast, it is. So we've been doing Treehouse. We've been doing Trillium.
Right.
Some, a lot of Northeast beer.
Right. It's easy to get for us.
Absolutely. I'm lucky enough to have a friend that is on the West Coast often, and when he goes, he'll get some stuff and comes back with it. Either ships it home or
nice.
going with them too. So this is a double dry hop IPA, double IPA. So it's 8.3%, and it's hopped with.
What do we got?
Nope. The beer advocate just isn't nice on this one.
It's
double dry hop with wheat, cashmere, and citra and amarillo. So it is a mishmash.
Cashmere.
Mishmash. I've never had cashmere hops, but these guys are
They're basically the treehouse of the West Coast. They're located. They're located right outside LA in Torrance, like a suburb of LA.
Yeah, it's hard to get.
Every day they have a drop. They don't really announce it beforehand. People line up for it. Funny thing about this company is that there's a lot of homeless people in LA. Mm-hmm. They actually will line up to get this beer and then sell it on secondary for secondary price.
Wow.
Or sell it to people in line when it gets sold out because it sells out every day. They'll sell to people in line that didn't get it.
I appreciate that.
And there's other homeless people that have bought a cooler of waters and stuff and everything. And they line up too as well. So it's very interesting that they're trying to capitalize on the success.
Well, good for them.
The cool thing about this is actually the first time I think
we're losing you in the camera. You want to?
I'm right over here. Hey guys.
Yeah, thanks.
I think this.
That's your better side.
Go off screen. Oh, Gio.
Complete turnaround. This is actually the first time I think we've done growlers as well, isn't it?
No, we've done it before, I think.
Growler?
It's smaller growlers.
Right,
This is the big boy, but it's true. So you have to drink a growler within 2 weeks of bottling or whatever.
We doing
it? Here's to Monkish.
Cheers.
To Monkish, to everyone, to our viewers, to our many viewers.
To D-Day.
Cheers to beers.
Cheers.
Very nice, smooth.
That's tasty.
For having come here on a plane, it's pretty good.
Really good.
That's tasty.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. All right. So at On-Tech, what we do stories about tech. Jay, why don't you start us off?
So my story today is, how many of you have flown in a helicopter?
I have.
Me too.
I actually, a long-term goal of mine was actually learn how to fly a helicopter.
Really hard.
You want to be a
Both
helicopter.
feet, both hands, hard.
Right.
But so the
Have you done it?
no.
Oh.
I've been on one, but never actually flown one. I guess it's very hard.
Okay.
I've done, you know why? At one point in my life, I was way into sort of computer flight simulators, and so I played with it that way, but it's not the same thing.
But
Clearly.
it's-
But it's some idea.
Yeah, all right.
So here's the thing. So Uber, I'm sure who here are big Uber users?
Never heard of it.
Of course. So the idea, of course, is that with Uber, you get this car and you go wherever you go, but you have to deal with traffic. So Uber in New York is announcing a service called Uber Copter. And with Uber Copter, you get an 8-minute flight from downtown New York to JFK Airport.
That's pretty convenient.
It is pretty convenient.
How much is it, though?
It's like between, not crazy, but kind of expensive, $200 and $225.
To fight traffic. It's worth it.
Yeah, the
beat
weird thing, though, is only open to Uber Platinum or Diamond members.
man.
Are either of you Platinum
Time
or
out. How the hell
Diamond?
do you get one of those?
How do you even
I
become
guess
one of
you
those?
just use
Apparently,
Uber a lot
obviously,
or something.
obviously I'm not.
I know.
How do you become one of them?
Don't
Do
ask
you got to
me about
pay
it.
for it? Or?
No, it's like frequent flyer. Like you use Ubers a lot and you somehow get this. They give you points now. I am some, lame level of points. I don't do it that much, but for those
I
people
didn't
who are
even know. I
into
have to check later.
yeah, I think it just sort of does it.
So it's the Uber Chopper.
Yeah, so it's an Uber Chopper, and it's starting July 9th, so in, 3 days?
July 9th, June 9th.
Sorry, you're right. July 9th, so a month and 3 days.
Okay.
And, 8
I'm
minutes.
surprised you're not doing it before the holiday. July 4th, big
I
travel.
would think, you're right. And they're back to dynamic pricing, so if it's a busy time of day, you'll get charged more.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you define a busy time of day?
Trying to fight traffic.
Traffic-wise. So
I
if
know.
the traffic on the road is bad, the copter's going to charge you more.
Right, I
it's not
know.
based on airspace traffic. It's based on road traffic.
Right. Weekdays available. Weekdays 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sundays 2 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Definitely during traffic time. When the big boys don't want to roll in traffic.
Dude, that's like
Then
pretty
we'll-
cheap. Do you think about these dudes in New York City, these hedge fund guys, these like super rich finance guys?
So the alternate they say is if you take a car and you drive during rush hour, you're talking like at least an hour.
Yeah.
You could do the LIRR, like on the railroad,
Yeah.
50 to 75 minutes. And with this, you could do as little as 30 minutes.
That's pretty sweet.
That's pretty sweet. Not a bad
I think
idea.
I know a guy in our office that would take advantage of that 'cause he's always late for the airport and almost missing flights.
Yes, I know, exactly.
Actually, a guy and a girl. I know
That's
two
true.
people.
Ah,
that
that's
do
true.
that.
Hey-o.
All right, so that's my first story. I thought that was kind of clever.
Cool.
How about you?
My first story is about our good old friends at Facebook. Apparently, they're releasing a cryptocurrency. Yeah.
I just don't really
I
understand
don't
that.
get it. I don't know why. It's called Libra. The project's called Libra. And essentially, they want to provide cryptocurrency to use mostly with their apps like WhatsApp, Messenger, etc. But they also are planning ATM like physical terminals as well.
Weird.
But I don't understand. There's going to be like sign up bonuses for merchants to actually allow Facebook's cryptocurrency as payment. But it's like I don't know why Facebook's going to e-commerce. Facebook, you're really hurting for dough. You need to make your own now. I don't.
I know, it's
understand
strange. I don't
A
really
lot
get
of
it
people
either.
buy
Crazy.
stuff on Facebook through the marketplace and whatnot. So I can
That's
see how they're
true.
going to try and use that to leverage purchasing with their own currency. I mean,
I guess, but I don't know. It's like, but they do say when they do push their tokens live, it's going to be the largest user base of any cryptocurrency because Facebook
Really?
has
Right,
2.3 billion.
But that's easy. Like anything you do with Facebook, they could say that too, right? But I mean, how many people are actually going to use it is the interesting
Well, I
question.
think it'll be interesting to see which businesses sign up to accept their cryptocurrency and see how that goes. But I think it's an interesting move from a social media giant
Right.
to now moving to cryptocurrency. And obviously, you have concerns about security and fraud and things like that, and they're saying all the right things about that. But
I'm happy to give all my cryptocurrency to Facebook because I really trust that they're going to take good care of that, right?
right, just like your personal data, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, right? And see. Exactly, right? So we'll see how that goes, Maybe it'll be a success, maybe it won't.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll become rich off cryptocurrency at
There you
Facebook,
go.
and maybe we won't. Who knows?
All right. So I've got one for you. Machine learning. Does anyone have any experience here with machine learning?
Not me. You know I'm against that stuff. I think the Terminators are going to take over.
Yeah, really.
So.
Believe it or not, I am, and I have.
No, we know you
I
are.
have.
We know you
play
are.
with that stuff.
You know
so
you
the
are.
problem.
Terminators are coming for you first. They might actually come from your house. All right.
Right.
That Alexa you've got.
That's right.
All of a sudden
It's gonna
fry
like
you.
3D print itself. The
Yeah. It might. Just think about it. These little Transformer Terminators are going to 3D print themselves and just wipe you out.
Oh, good times. Watch out.
Like,
I'll just enter your house, Jason. It's good. So the big challenge with machine learning and these things is that naturally, as the title implies, you need to learn. So if you want to get a good database of, or a good way to recognize people, you got to give it lots of pictures of people, and over a while, kind of learn and figure it out.
Yeah.
So the challenge from my experience is trying to do that. So there's a bunch of ways to do it. Some companies like Google just have it because they have Google Pictures.
What pictures do you have that you're showing your AI?
Well, I was thinking about doing something like recognizing my dog, recognizing my wife, recognizing my kids, and being able to do that stuff. I never did it, but that's
you do if you for your dog, do if you're like an automated doggy door.
Sure.
Right. He walks up. He's not a raccoon. He lets him in.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
But so Microsoft, in fact, was a big provider of a what they call their celeb database that had 10 million images. 10 million is a big number, but of 100,000 people.
Right.
Which means that there's 100 images, right, on average of a given person. And in fact, those more like celebrities or whatever.
What's the purpose of this?
So the idea is that people would use this for machine learning to recognize human faces so that you can then use it to sort of more broadly recognize humans versus dogs or cats or whatever, because...
Terminators,
exactly. So this seemed like a good idea. Maybe, and they just arbitrarily pulled it down. So the database is gone. Microsoft has not said anything about it.
Offline.
And Microsoft's answer is, well, offline. Well, it was actually put together by a random employee who just left. So someone
who's also getting DARPA funding.
Yeah, right. So someone just basically went.
Sorry.
And create 10 million. You can't just have a random person do 10 million images and not have anyone know about it.
Right? That's a lot of space, right? That's a lot of storage. Take up some resources.
Is this similar to the story this week where they were saying that AI can create moving imagery from stills?
Right.
Yeah, there's a Nancy Pelosi video they were saying was all fabricated as well. Anyway, you know what this reminds me of? Remember, did you hear about it was Facebook or Amazon created this network of AI computers and created their own language? They started communicating with each other. They had to shut the whole thing down.
They started talking to each other.
Right, they started talking to each other and no one knew what the hell they were talking about. And they had to shut the whole thing off because things were happening. So,
it's like the whole thing with the Terminator, right? The rise of the machine.
Skynet
is here.
More real than you think. We're all screwed.
Now they say, well,
either that or global warming. Apparently, right. So we have 10 to 15 years left with that too. So
do we?
That's what I heard
10 to 15 years about 10 to 15 years ago.
Well, so the Microsoft answer though is that we've been vocal about our desire to properly regulate facial recognition, and it has broad societal ramifications and potential for abuse. So they took it down, but now, it's been up for a long time. Why wouldn't it take it down a while ago? It was published in 2016.
Because they're using it.
Exactly. Maybe someone was using
coming
it.
after you.
All right, so that was my story. I thought it was really quite interesting. But Jason, Gio, what do you guys have?
My next one is about Peloton.
I've never used one of those, but I know people who swear by them.
Same here. I have several close friends that have the bike, and they swear by it. They say it's awesome. So Peloton, if you don't know, it's basically the fitness company that has connected devices which will stream to a specific instructor or a class or a route where you can bike, and they have a treadmill as well. So you have a bike and a treadmill today. Actually, so the article I have is kind of twofold. First and foremost, they are looking at creating a third device, a rowing device. And I'm thinking this guy, Mr. Rower, would be like, I'm on the Charles, baby, just going. I got this little, what is the person that yells at you?
Like a trainer. The trainer's like, come on!
Coxswain.
Come on!
He's yelling at you, going,
Gio, you're going too slow!
You're just going crazy there.
Honestly, when you're on the water and you hear that person screaming at you, it's very motivating.
Right? The second part is that they actually are planning to they're teasing an IPO in 2019. And the company,
they already filed.
Guess what the company's valued at? Just try and take a guess. I already told Gio, don't say, but
I don't know, $700 million.
$4.15 billion. Right?
I mean, it's like such a. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's really cool exercise equipment, like really neat.
It's expensive.
But it's freaking exercise equipment,
and it's super
I
expensive.
know. And
It's
you
like
gotta pay
$2,000 for the bike.
You gotta pay like
fee.
I know.
The model's perfect. You have a hardware model that requires maintenance, upkeep, whatnot, plus a SaaS model. It's great. It's a great move.
They haven't announced the price per share yet or what the range would be, but if they're valued at $4.15 billion, I'm guessing it's going to be pretty hefty. So
good point. Good.
That's what's going on with Peloton. And I've not tried the bike yet, but like I said, I have friends as well that swear by it and say it's pretty awesome.
Me too.
I wish I had a sit-down bike. I don't like the,
the recumbent bicycle.
Well, it's a spin
I like recumbent.
Oh, you like the lazy bike?
Well,
with you and your back.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, the rowing is like kind of the same position, right? Same posture, where when you're rowing, you're level hips and feet, right? Same thing with recumbent bikes, where hips and feet are kind of level, right? I prefer that personally.
All right.
So you guys,
short.
You guys are all cable users, right?
Cable what?
Cable at home. Are you a cord cutter?
I haven't had a cable.
He has no TV.
I haven't had TV in like...
This guy.
You are a cable user like me.
Yes. I know what you're going to talk about, and I'm excited.
Have you ever tried to call the cable company? People always say to do this and like complain, and they'll say, "Oh, special deal!
My wife does it for me.
We just found out that there's a special deal for you, and we'll cut your bill by 20% for like a year."
I'm like, we're Fios. I'm like, Comcast is pretty good with this package here.
I know.
Like, we've got this. Yeah, absolutely.
So the story is that cable companies are now starting to decide that, in fact, it's cheaper to like let you go. So you call them up and be like, they have a better deal. We got to go there. Yeah. Because what they're finding is a lot of people cancel and then go to broadband-only plans. And in fact, broadband-only plans are more expensive and less expensive because
less expensive, but like the
more profitable.
Per whatever,
Yeah, more profitable. So in fact, they can increase their profitability by having you go to an internet-only plan, but of course, total revenue in that case goes down. So it's an interesting change in the business model, and it appears to vary by cable company. Some are more aggressive about that. I still get frustrated. I was looking at my bill recently. I think we pay like...
What? Do you even watch TV, dude?
Yeah. My kids do.
You do?
I do. But I still feel like YouTube TV or DirecTV Now, YouTube or one of those.
We've talked
is
about
probably as good.
And I feel like YouTube TV would be good for us, but they keep raising their prices and it's becoming almost equal to
regular cable
because you've got Netflix, you've got Amazon Prime, you've got HBO that you got.
Maybe you have now anyway, right?
And but then you've got to pay for the cable and the broadband. So if you switch off the cable, just keep the broadband, it might go up a little bit, but then you get the YouTube, and it's like.
What if you just get rid of all of it, save your money, and just
internet?
Then you can't have silly conversations about Game of Thrones like we do, buddy.
It's true.
So anyway,
and by the way, good segue, Chernobyl.
Yeah, so good point. So the other story I had in mind. Do you want to talk about it?
Well, you can't watch it. You need HBO.
You talk about it.
I might have to get HBO Go then, just for this.
So Chernobyl.
Complete hypocrite.
Please tell us, share it with us, because I had a story on this one too. Jason and I both ironically found this one because it's compelling. Go ahead.
So HBO released this miniseries, 5 episodes, about Chernobyl.
Right.
And you know what Chernobyl is, right?
I do.
Nuclear disaster in 1986.
Right? Chernobyl has caused tons of health issues.
I've got a story about that.
Across Europe.
Because the wind was blowing the radiation everywhere. Oh, yeah, mess. They attribute only about 4,000 deaths to it, but in reality, it was more like 50 to 60,000.
All right, I'm putting you on the spot. How do you spell Chernobyl?
Chernobyl.
Nicely done.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, come on.
So I have a true story. I have a cousin at the time lived in Denmark. And he had all kinds of problems with terrible cancers, ended up succumbing to cancer. And they said the same thing, like this is not normal. No, it was because it happened and the wind was prevailing winds blew a lot of it to him.
Absolutely.
Terrible.
Yeah. Right. So the show is very interesting, not only how they talk about the disaster itself, how it happened, but behind the scenes, interesting about the politicians and the people, how they tried to hide it at first, and they were denying that the reactor actually had blown up, and it was just like a
so this is like as it happened type of a show?
Yeah, like as it's going on, like craziness. And then the 5th episode is about the trial and everything, and it's just very, very, it's obviously dramatized because it's a miniseries, but an event that gripped the world back in 1996, bringing it back on screen,
a huge deal,
and then putting it in this manner is pretty interesting.
The same thing could be said for March 11th, 2011, I believe. Fukushima.
Yes.
Same idea.
No,
what?
That was natural disaster. That was a tsunami.
But it's still going on.
True.
They didn't shut it down.
Disaster?
Right?
Well,
so how long did it take for Chernobyl to like start, like the meltdown, until complete encapsulation?
A couple of years ago, because they've actually.
A couple of years ago, it stopped.
They built a containment unit around the reactor.
Yeah.
So this is kind of funny and sad.
No,
there's an Instagram model that I follow. She's German. She went to Chernobyl.
I know you can do that.
Right? And you can do a tour there.
Yeah.
Go into reactor room 4, control room 4, where it happened, where they press the button to make the explosion happen.
No.
And you actually can go there, and you can see that in reactor 4, there's this big, huge containment unit built around it.
I want nothing to do with that.
No, it's great, because you can go around, you get this whole historical thing, there's monuments everywhere. You go to Pripyat, which was the city 3 kilometers away, and Chernobyl has a lot about that city where all the workers lived and stuff.
Yeah, there's mutated people there now.
Yeah, they had to evacuate, but they evacuated 3 days
like
after
the
it
hills have
happened.
eyes.
But it's weird. You go there, it's like weird.
But you go there now, nature's taking over. There's animals everywhere.
Yeah, with 3
trees are going. No, they're not
pretty trees
affected, and nature's growing everywhere, and it's like the most beautiful place.
No
but it's like people left out of people.
So you go to rooms, people clothes are there,
dolls,
like toys.
Books from
it's like
schools,
weird.
They were told to leave immediately. You can come back in like 3 days. So they left all their stuff there. Now you go back there, and it's like this
it's all radiated. No, forget it.
It's like
no way. No, thank you.
No, you got the monitor going around and stuff. But it's interesting. They have cranes and fire trucks still there, and if you bring the meter towards them, it's they start going crazy. Like, you know how it makes that like scratchy sound?
Of course, the Geiger counter sound.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But so, is there any truth to the TV show, or is it all like a bogus?
No, there's truth to it. There's truth to it, but I would say it's like 50% dramatized. I heard on the radio today, one of the executive producers was talking about how they made this part up, or this part was based on conjecture from this. But I mean, it's obviously dramatized because it's a miniseries and it's HBO. But what it does do is sparked my interest in it. And there's a few books out there that I actually want to read now about Chernobyl. There's a few good ones.
I think it's cool.
There's one about memoirs of people that have lived through the disaster. Another one about the event, the timeline, all this stuff. So I think I'm already going to check those things out. But I highly recommend it
or not.
But my wife loves it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so she did not like Breaking Bad or any of those shows, but she loves this show. And I definitely think that you said it's a grade 9.7 out of 10 across the board, one of the highest rated, critically acclaimed shows ever.
So it's the highest rated show ever. I've never seen it, and Jason, I know you have. But it sounds like it's worth checking out.
But it's new. It's like straight new.
It's brand new.
Yeah.
So you have Netflix?
Yes.
Check out the Chernobyl Diaries. I don't know if it's streaming anymore, though.
Okay.
Because I had watched this before, and it's like
2012.
You ever see Hostel? The movie Hostel.
This is like a horror movie.
This is straight horror.
Come on.
Oh, I thought it was
it's rated 5 of 10 from IMDb.
I thought this was like a documentary, not some horror flick.
Disaster horror film.
No wonder why you have a skewed view. You're watching horror movies about it with mutated people
like horror
and shit.
Movies.
Oh my gosh, Rotten Tomatoes rated 19%.
Just watch it. It's pretty good.
Come on.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Come on.
Not watching it. Not going to do it.
So I have one more story, which is I'm not sorry to see that Apple has decided to kill iTunes.
I don't get it.
I have hated iTunes forever. I find it so unintuitive. In fact, the engineer on stage was laughing. He's like, whoever wanted a program that would manage your music and also your schedule and your task items. Like, it sort of got so bloated to do everything.
But iTunes was like the place to get music. So now is it Apple just Music?
Yeah, Apple Music. So theoretically, Apple Music now will subsume that. And then when you plug in your iPod or iPhone. My kids have iPods. Because they don't have phones.
I have an iPod 3.
Gen 2 iPod.
Right.
I have an i3, the one when it first came out with the screen on it.
Yeah.
Where you can put the artwork of the CD on it.
I've got one with a hard drive in it, the old white one with a spinny wheel in the front. I got one of those.
I got one of those guys.
I'm bringing it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, the idea is you plug that into your computer and it somehow syncs via the Finder, so it doesn't require iTunes anymore.
Okay. If you came in on Fridays, that'd be pretty cool.
I'm not coming.
Slack dog.
Not in the summer.
Not in the summer.
All right, so that is the end of what I had right now.
For me, I didn't have too much either. You know, talking about the Sony PlayStation 5, you know, as you know, guys, I'm a Sony guy. When it comes to my gaming systems, they want to have it be as seamless as possible because if you remember the PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4, there wasn't any cross-compatibility. You couldn't play old games on the new system, and so there were obviously a lot of complaints. So I'm glad to see that Sony is taking feedback and lessons learned from previous systems to try and make it more cross-compatible, which will be great. Dark Phoenix coming out as well. New X-Men movie. I don't know if you guys care about that.
Oh my gosh, classic. You are an X-Men guy.
I've heard it's not good.
I don't know. The first couple
You're like obsessed with X-Men.
I heard the first couple X-Men
Avengers
movies were good earlier.
Avengers and Deadpool. I love when Deadpool makes fun of the X-Men.
I've never seen any of the Deadpool.
You should watch Deadpool.
But I haven't watched it.
All right,
it's really, really well done.
So here's someone who's emailing me regarding our thing, who's John, and John is saying he ditched cable and saves $150 a month going with DirecTV Now.
And Apple TV.
Apple TV is the device. I looked at that once, but I kind of preferred at the time, not once, like a few weeks ago, I liked YouTube because I felt like it had more of the channels I wanted to watch.
I think YouTube TV is kind of my jam, too.
Yeah, same. But I think DirecTV Now had some really good choices. So I'm with you, John. It's a good choice, but I'm a DirecTV Now guy.
If you want to care.
I'm sorry, YouTube.
Speaking of Apple Music, all the Final Fantasy soundtracks are now on Apple Music.
Oh my gosh, thank God. I've been waiting so long.
Yep, all the soundtracks.
Like, who cares? Like, really?
You just crapped all over that, dude.
As I played Final Fantasy 15 last night at home. Anyways,
oh God, you're welcome.
The movies that were in the theater, like the first Final Fantasy movie.
There's only one, I think.
I thought there were two, but the first one was awesome.
It was cinematic.
Other than that, everything else sucked.
What else did I have? Dodge announcing the Octane package for the 2019 Charger Hellcat. So if you're familiar with the Hellcat and that series,
those cars are ridiculous.
Like this souped-up, ridiculous Charger that goes like 500 horsepower, like crazy. They're offering now a $1,500 Octane appearance package. Appearances only.
I know, nice.
Really?
So it's only appearances.
Octane?
So it's like racing stripes and badging and trim.
No.
And SRT performance seats. That'll get you.
My biggest annoyance is when these car brands, and it's typically like the mainstream ones, release like the X line or the S line that's like the supposedly like sporty version,
straight looks,
of which it just has like like stupid things like stripes and like additional like
big spoiler
with the same motor, and you're like, all right, that really makes a lot of sense. I'm good now. I think
it has a bunch of hellacious decals.
Ooh, I need hellacious decals on my car.
Black badges and interior trim changes.
I'm good.
The Scat Pack is what you want. That's the one.
You only drank half of your beer.
I know.
Of course you're good.
The Scat Pack is the one. He has to be good. His wife's coming in.
I know.
Dinner tonight.
That's right.
Come on.
That's right.
Big date night for Jay tonight.
That's right.
Yep.
We should have Jay do some shotguns.
So the new Hellcat's 707 horsepower. That's just ridiculous.
You know, I would.
It's a Dodge. Like
I know. That's what Gio wants. The Gio's dream.
Gio wants one is
the Jeep SRT 8.
No,
Cherokee SRT.
I want a 69. Like
no, you don't. That's a new story.
I want an old school.
I want Eleanor.
I want it with no electronics. I want it just.
Do you know Eleanor?
School. No. Eleanor, baby.
Eleanor is like the 1969 Mustang that was 500. In Mustang GT 500 that was in the Nicolas Cage movie. Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah,
okay, I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen that? Oh, that's a classic. You should.
It's like the first purple car ever.
Was it purple? It was gray. Dude, it's like matte
my
gray.
Eyes checked.
It's like matte gray with black stripes.
Maybe I want mine purple then.
Well, different strokes for different folks.
Apparently so.
Well, anyway, we diverged way too far.
We gotta spin this around so you can see the Monkish label, but I think
this is the Monkish label.
No, but the words, the name.
You see the words.
All right, you see the words coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, there you go.
What do you think, Jay?
I think it's good.
Yeah, what do you think?
I like it.
You got to become a connoisseur.
I have been. We had some stout. I love stout. I have to say.
We have been feeding you the greatest beer on the planet.
I freely acknowledge
people in the world have no idea what you're consuming? Probably everyone watching this, which is like 3 people. But
cheers to the people out there. Thank you.
3. It's more than that, but cheers to you guys. Hopefully, you guys enjoy. I want you guys to tell us what you enjoy about what we're doing. The tech articles, the beer,
the ripping on each other,
the ripping on each other. should we just stop talking about like articles and just tear each other apart? Like,
Yeah, right.
You know, your shirt's ugly, but you're ugly. Like, let us know. What should we be doing more? We want to know. We want to talk more about what you guys want to hear about. So
that could go down a bad path. Some people might run.
Oh man, it might go down a bad path, but that's okay.
Cool.
Anyway, I think that's it for today.
All right, I think it is too.
June 6th. Cheers to all the soldiers who lost their lives on D-Day
Yes,
and actually participated in that event. A great day in American history, but a very historic and also a sad day.
I agree with that.
Yep.
So cheers
Thanks,
to them,
everyone.
and cheers to all of you for watching us. Really appreciate it. We appreciate the likes, the comments, the watches, everything. So we appreciate you guys.
Cheers, guys.
See you. Cheers.
Don't forget to subscribe. Cheers.
Cheers.
Smash that subscribe